I knew we could count on you. You have never disappointed me. But there is so much left to do if we are going to win this war. Still, with you leading the charge, we have an excellent chance to end the plane meld and save our world. With the combined forces of the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild, we must take the battle to Molag Bal and reach the portal to the planar vortex. It all starts at the chasm. Scouts are already in place, gathering information ahead of your arrival. It is a narrow, well-defended span of rock, swarming with Daedra and dominated by a gatehouse that blocks the way into Molag Bal's personal domain. Cadwell knows the region. He's a strange fellow, but I trust him. He's waiting for you at the chasm. It is vitally important that we take the chasm. If we fail, we'll never be able to cross into Molag Bal's inner sanctum and reach the portal to the planar vortex. Cadwell will aid you. He sees the world in a different way, but he's a good man.
Well, this has my knickers in a twist. We have a perfectly fine army, but what good is it sitting around this side of the chasm twiddling its collective thumbs? It's rather embarrassing, if truth be told. The situation? We're well and truly flummoxed. Before we could cross the chasm, before we could confront Molag Gunda, we were stopped by a few irksome focus stones. The wee ginger mage says we need to break the stones, but good luck with that. Nothing other than the multitude of Dremora sitting on top of them. I could handle this myself, but I didn't want to make the rest of the troops sad by showing off my awesome battle skills. But you, on the other hand, they're used to that from you. Well, this has my knickers in a twist. We have a perfectly fine army, but what good is it sitting around this side of the chasm twiddling its collective thumbs? It's rather embarrassing, if truth be told.
Once we control the portal, we can control the first section of the chasm.
rushed on ahead as usual. I shall proceed with caution and see if I can keep him focused on the task at hand. Darian has rushed on ahead as usual. I shall proceed with caution and see if I can keep him focused on the task at hand.
Good show! The portal belongs to us now. Sir Darian and that lovely lizard have gone on ahead. I think he might be a bit intimidated by our prowess on the field of battle, and he's trying to compensate. Bunda's a cheeky one, and she knows we're getting close. She's summoning reinforcements faster than Darian can kill them. You'd best get to it. By all means. Do you want to know how many Daedra can dance on the head of a pin? How I managed to stay so cheerful even in the most perilous of circumstances? What's my favorite color? Ask away. Mola Grunda, a large woman with wings, bit of a temper, guards the gatehouse. I hear that she's the daughter of Molag Ball, if you can believe that. He never struck me as a family man, but who am I to judge? It's my home, old chum. Has been for years. I know every wondrous nook and cranny. Beautiful place, full of fascinating creatures. Of course, they often try to kill you, but that's the challenge of it, isn't it?
Denthis, Dethys, you two guard the portal. Through to push ahead. The source of the reinforcements must be cut off. I'll scout on ahead. We need to know what we're going to face at that gatehouse.
There are 2 portals being used by the Dremora to transport reinforcements. You have to shut those portals down. Well, Darian ran east and Walks in Ash ran west, so I imagine that tells us something. Now, stop standing around and move out!
My brother and I will guard this area. See what you can do about those reinforcement portals. Oh, right as rain. Besides, we've got the high and mighty Cadwell watching our backs. He might be as crazy as an outhouse skeever, but he's remarkable with that sword.
My wound, it burns.
Watch and learn, my friend. Watch and learn. Let me show you how to close a Daedric portal. One Daedric portal closed, as promised. Now that's how to do it with style.
Greetings. Speak with me a moment.
These creatures do not frighten me. Let us close this portal. The portal is closed. We make a most effective team, my friend.
I think that little wood elf was planning to face Molag Grunda all by herself before Cadwell ran up there. You'd better catch up with them. I'll make sure nothing follows you.
I got the barrier down. Molag Grunder has to know we're coming. The chasm is nearly ours. I'm going to see who needs help back by the portals. Cadwell is up at the gatehouse. The two of you can deal with Molag Grunder.
I think our friends have the chasm well in hand. What say we pop in for a chat with Molag Grunder? Right, we control the rest of the chasm now, and the troops have matters well in hand. Let's go and have a sit-down with Molag Grunder. She's always good for a laugh and a song. From Grunder, rudeness, hostility, sarcasm, and most certainly a large amount of open hostility. I've no idea how she keeps house, but I imagine we'll find the usual Daedric touches that make Coldharbour feel so warm and inviting.
I can't wait to see Molag Grunder's face when she sees us. She and I go way back, you know. Once we get inside, we cross one little bridge to reach the gatehouse. Follow me.
I've always loved this part of the chasm. It's so majestic. Takes your breath away, doesn't it? On occasion, quite permanently. There's a trick to getting into the gatehouse proper, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Not to worry, though. I'm sure it will come back to me. Of course, I remember now. There's a flywheel in each of the side antechambers. We need to start them spinning to open the main door. it's all coming back to me. There's a lever across the chamber. Just give it a good tug, and that flywheel will be spinning in no time. Door. Look at that craftsmanship. Remarkable. Grunder always had good taste, I have to say. See, I knew that would work. A word of advice. Guard your pluckables. Grunder enjoys plucking out eyes, spleens, anything pluckable, really.
Puny, wingless, mortal fools! I'll feast on your flesh after my little pet rips it from your bones! You killed my darling creature! I'll tear out your hearts and serve them to my father on a silver platter!
Well, that was disappointing. Hardly worked up a sweat.
Well done! With Molar Grunda defeated, the entirety of the chasm is now under our control! Gathwin is rounding up the troops. I asked her to keep an eye on Darien as well. He's a terror with the sword, but sometimes I think he takes too many chances. While you were lollygagging, we secured the area. You did well, my friend. Thanks to your efforts, we control the chasm and can freely move troops between the Hollow City and the front lines. Take a moment to collect your thoughts, then come see me again. This gauntlet we must run is far from over. While you were lollygagging, You did well. As soon as you're ready, we have another mission that could use your unique approach. Vampires. The region beyond is crawling with them. Worse, anyone we send in there is turned into one of the foul monsters. And do you see the structure that looms on the horizon? I believe that's one of Molag Bal's infamous harvest hearts. Eager and confident. I like that. I need you to collect blood from the vampires. It's an integral component in the pacification ritual I will perform. Use the blood to mark their lairs. I'll meet you near the heart when you're finished. What are you still doing here? The vampires won't bleed themselves, you know. I have my preparations to deal with, and you have yours. The first step is to make sure the ritual targets the correct creatures. Marking the vampires' layers with their own blood will guarantee this. In the most expedient manner possible, the ritual unleashes a magic that tracks down the blood and targets the creatures connected to it. Then the vampires will become mindless beasts, no longer capable of posing any threat. I've been developing this ritual for years, but I've never had the chance to test it until now. If this works, it could be a major breakthrough against vampirism. Just another of Molag Bal's clever witticisms, I suppose. It's an orchard from which he plucks the fruit of his vampiric creations. Or something poetic and disturbing like that. But we have a ritual to prepare for. I've read accounts of these foul artifacts. Molag Bal uses them to enslave large communities and to empower specific parts of his divine portfolio. In this case, I believe the heart is greatly increasing the rate at which the vampirism spreads. What are you still doing here? The vampire... I have my preparations. I've read accounts of these foul... Not easily. But that's where my ritual comes in. By the time I finish casting it, the heart will be no more, and the vampires will no longer pose a threat to our forces.
Come across the chasm, with most fragrant companions by his side. This one grieves for the friends we lost today, however, and for the losses yet to come.
Old Mary Grandeur.
subjecting my people to this danger. Do not do this. I implore you, my children are not evil.
We must protect our lands.
Temptress! I'll hear no more of your lies!
Such a stubborn elf. Perhaps your companion will be more willing to listen to reason. I hope that you'll prove to be more reasonable than your companion. My offer makes perfect sense, considering the alternatives. Some call me the Crimson Matron, others the concubine of Coldharbour. I am an elder vampire brought to this new life by Molag Bal. These are my children, but they have been enthralled by the Lord of Brutality. My children protect this orchard because Molag Bal commands it. They aren't evil. They're slaves of the Harvest Heart. Instead of destroying them, help me set them free. Imagine an army of vampires that owes you a favor. The ritual the elf plans to perform will drive my children mad. But there's a better solution if you're willing to listen to reason. Molag Bal is the real enemy here. Let me help you free my children from the Dark Lord's thrall. Then we both win. I can perform my own ritual. It will destroy the Harvest Heart and set my children free. Help me accomplish this, and my children will be in your debt. They will provide you with safe passage through the orchard and aid you against Molag Bal. Of course. Take all the time you need. It's not like you're trying to save the world from Molag Bal or anything like that. Oh wait, that's exactly what you're trying to do. I shall await your decision with bated breath.
You can't seriously be considering her proposal, can you? She's a confounded vampire, for Magnus's sake! She's an elder vampire! Setting those monsters free will be like ringing the dinner bell in a Nord feast hall before the meal is ready. Her so-called children see us as food and nothing more. The only logical solution is to perform my ritual. Really? You need to consult with a monster before you agree to help the great and powerful Vanus Galerion. Oh, very well. Do what you must. I'll wait here until you reach a decision.
Have you considered my proposal? I can perform my own ritual. It will destroy the Harvest Heart and set my children free. Help me accomplish this, and a most wise and honorable decision. I'll follow you to the ritual sites. Protect me while I perform the ritual, and we will break Molag Bal's hold on my children. Defend me while I perform this portion of the ritual. My children will oppose us every step of the way. As long as the Harvest Heart continues to hold them in its grasp, they have no choice. Protect me from them, and I promise I will set them free of Molag Bal's evil.
No one gets through the orchard. No one.
Defend me while I perform this portion of the ritual. This portion of the ritual is complete. Now we must return to the Harvest Heart. There's one more thing to do before we can destroy Molag Bal's vile monstrosity.
How can I help?
Now we must return.
May I be of service?
Come talk to me.
I need
must
to
explain
explain the
role
next
in
steps to you.
stage of the ritual.
At this point, we can't afford for anything to go wrong. I've prepared the ritual site, and I'll assist the vampire with her spell. But if she betrays us and our world is destroyed, I'll never speak to you again.
The time has come to perform the ritual and destroy the Harvest Heart. My children yearn to be free. The black blood flowing from the Harvest Heart binds my children to Molag Bal. But it also gives us a connection we can take advantage of. While I provide the power to destroy the Harvest Heart, you must sever the connection to Molag Bal. Find the Lord of Schemes binding totems and destroy them. They are spaced evenly around the Harvest Heart. As each totem breaks, my children will be separated from Molag Bal, and the energy protecting the Harvest Heart will falter.
The Harvest Heart is destroyed!
The Harvest Heart has been destroyed. My children are no longer slaves to Molag Bal. Most certainly. Thanks to your efforts, my children are free. They won't give you any more trouble. And, as I promised, my children will aid you when you need it most. The Harvest Heart has been most certainly.
Another successful mission, but we're not finished yet. Just the person I was looking for. King Dinar is rallying our forces near the Reaver Citadel. Yes, King Dinar and our forces are preparing to attack the Reaver Citadel to the north. And on my way to find you, I noticed a strange shipyard to the east and a Red Guard settlement to the west. It's Molag Bal's last line of defense before we reach his inner sanctum, and it's certainly his most powerful. The Dremora station there have turned it into a heavily fortified city. Not quite, but soon. He's waiting for you and a few of the others to meet up with him. They're gathering on the land bridge just to the north. I'm gonna head in that direction as soon as we're done here. No, I doubt it's an actual settlement. That's just what the architecture reminded me of. I wasn't able to get too close, but I swear I heard music coming from that direction. You know, it sounded very festive to me. Isn't that strange, in a place like this? What could any of these soul-shriven have to be happy about? It was the strangest sight. More shipwrecks than a shipyard, really. It was as if they just fell out of the sky, and there was an awful lot of them. Other than a massive graveyard of ships of various designs spread across the valley to the east of here? No, not really.